Alright, hello everybody, this is the EpicGamingGuru, and this time I have some pretty important announcements to make for both the channel and many other things because these are genuine questions I usually get when it comes to my channel as a whole. I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of these questions you guys have asked me for the past couple of months about videos and whatnot of content being added to the channel. Well, there's a lot that I need to discuss about that, so I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for all of you within this video as fast as I physically can because time for me is of the essence and I don't have a lot of time to keep making videos, so I'm gonna have to break all that down for all of you, so here we go. Also forgot to mention that this is Stalker 2 based amount of gameplay, but do not worry, I am going to make this as spoiler free as physically possible just to ensure that I'm able to review this game fully because I have to be honest, Stalker 2 is goddamn amazing. This is possibly one of the biggest and best survival games that have ever been released since the past year, and people have been waiting for this title for almost an eon if not further. This is like a 12-year title in the making, and I have to admit I've been enjoying it so far. But I'm not here to just discuss about Stalker 2, which is why I'm only doing minimal effort when it comes to getting any recordings for this game at the moment. But I am here is to basically break down the important questions when it came to my channel because of the fact that a lot of people were wondering why my schedule is so completely broken when it comes to adding any form of new content. In fact, when it comes to content on my channel, it has been, and I have to admit, like even to myself, it has been completely drained. Like there is no content whatsoever on my channel that involves any game, any important conversation. Mine is the one that I have for Twitch recently, and I even have to make yet another conversation that's pretty important as a discussion that involves YouTube. Don't worry though, it's not that YouTube has a chance of shutting down or anything, but there is still some disconcerns here on the website, more or less, that I should worry about. Like there's a couple of things that YouTube might run into the near future, which might happen very soon, which is why I've been seeing a couple of content creators constantly moving their content from one platform to another, which I'm going to discuss further down in this video. As for the channel itself, I do have to say a massive thank you for everybody who's been sticking around long enough for me to be able to actually make this sort of content. I understand that I have been held way behind compared to many other content creators that have a lot more free time on their hands, but let me go ahead and explain all that to you all because here's what's happening. I do have a job in real life and it is utterly eating my life away. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. Like the timing for this job is so horrendous that I don't even understand how it even qualifies as a part-time job when it takes away so much time that you have to deal with anything else. So here's what's been going down with this job recently. This job does require me to wake up at 5 a.m. My schedule literally starts from 5 a.m. all the way till 9 a.m. throughout the entire halfway point of the day. By the time I'm out of this job, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I don't even feel like staying awake enough to even continuously make content on YouTube. It just completely drains you by the time you end up back home. And that's pretty much with any job. But as far as I know, most of the jobs that people would generally want is anything that literally goes all the way from 1 hour till the very end point of the job. Those are like the best type of jobs you can get because by the time you're out, you're completely done for the rest of the day. You pretty much finished all your work and you can get started with whatever you want to do back at home. This job frankly requires me to not only come back around 9 a.m. but it also results in me going to go back to the job before 2 p.m. which means I had to get ready by 1, go back to work and get a bunch of stuff done there, and by the time I come back it's already like 5:15 to sometimes even 5:20 if I'm very unlucky and I need to be held back on time, sometimes 5:30, and worst case scenario, complete overtime. These overtime requests are not only just completely random, but they are also not very well scheduled. I end up needing to be talking to my boss about these schedules and I tell him already ahead of time, you gotta tell me at least a week beforehand or at least the week prior. By the time I came back from this holiday vacation, they already had overtime set up for me, and that's actually something I had to do for tomorrow. Yeah, let that sink in. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much everything that involves my job in real life. I do try my best to try to get as much video content out there despite the fact that I have such a horrid schedule with my job and also being absolutely exhausted because I think that waking up at 5 a.m. just for a job is already horrendous as it is. And if you do have to wake up at 5 a.m., you better hope to God you get a job that makes you at least work all the way till 3 p.m. non-stop. That way by the time you come back you can at least rest about an hour or two and then maybe get stuff done for YouTube. Unfortunately those jobs are very rare apart and those are usually required and gotten through basically commissions and freelancers out there, which in itself can have its own discussion, so I'm gonna leave that for another day. The only reason I never really talked about my job or anything else in real life is because it never really interfered with anything that I was trying to do on YouTube until this point. There's been a lot of stuff that I've been uploading on YouTube that involved more of shorts than actual video content, and I can understand why people would be rather upset about this. I do fully understand that making my entire channel based around shorts was probably a horrendous idea, although it has given me a good set amount of subscribers as time went by, but the problem is with shorts in general is that they really don't require that much work to be making a short. Like, you can get a short done between 5 to maybe less than 10 minutes, maybe an hour if you're trying to really edit down a short. That being said, however, that really depends on the context of the short, and when it comes to videos, that is a whole entire monster entirely. I've had to work on a video, for example, the one that I have for Twitch. That one alone took me 3 to 6 days to not only gather up as much research as I can, and as well as a huge amount of history that's happened on Twitch over time that resulted in a lot of the negative things that have happened on Twitch recently, and as well as basically a black hole future for Twitch that I definitely kind of foresaw and already see how that entire platform as a whole will shut down as time goes by. And that is only just one example. When it comes to game reviews alone, depending on the game and depending on the stuff that I need to talk about within the game itself, everyone on this channel should know by now that I do not like talking about any form of a video game that I have yet to finish, or am at least close to finishing, or if I already experienced the game fully if it's endless. A good prime example of that would be Fallout 76, plenty of other games like technically even here with Stalker 2 that could be completely endless even after the story is done, and that's not even including the vast multiplayer that's coming into the game. And just to add even more work on my hands if I don't already have it full with a bunch of other stuff that I have to work on, there's also other series here in the entire channel that I have yet to finish, which would be the worst of the worst series when it comes to Tarkov. A lot of gameplay footage from a lot of different other titles that I have yet to even finish, which was basically Thief Simulator, SCP Foundation, and a whole bunch of others that I still need to gather context and video footage of. All this stuff takes time. I can guarantee you by the time I'm even done with all these videos, I'm probably still going to have way more shorts than I am actually going to have video content on the channel, just because of the fact that, again, shorts take up a lot less time for me to make versus an actual full-on video. There is actually one other thing that I completely almost forgot about, and thankfully I managed to remember before I even decided to go ahead and finish this video, because we're already damn near 10 minutes into it. When it comes to YouTube and trying to upload and make content for this entire platform as a whole, this is the type of platform that basically punishes you for not uploading a single thing. Once you pretty much get out of the algorithm that YouTube has, you'll pretty much be stuck out of it for a very long period of time until your channel picks up traction again, and then the algorithm is now on your side again. It's the same way that it works on any platform in general. This is especially true when it comes to any type of live streaming platforms. I mean, case in point, Twitch. But again, the thing that I find kind of funny is that I have yet to understand if the algorithm will still punish you if you're just uploading shorts or if you're just uploading full-on videos. That I still have yet to do enough research to figure out myself. Of course, it's not just based around the YouTube algorithm. Many channels have already done this in the past where they tried to go with a certain schedule when it came to YouTube, but sometimes the algorithm itself just randomly decides to make videos explode. I mean, that's already happened to me on shorts about nearly 3 to 5 times already, where a good amount of work when it comes to making one short of context and then finding out that a short with basically no description, no tags, just a title somehow does 100% better versus the one that has tags, has a description, has even important taglines for it to be able for it to be discovered more, and yet for some reason the algorithm just chooses the one that has no description. I don't understand it. I try to wrap my head around it. I've tried to figure it out. I still don't have a single clue as to how that works. And if I did and I figured out the clue, the mystery, the oh my god, he's finally figured out how the algorithm works. Yeah, no, every single YouTuber on the platform would basically copy the same thing, and it would basically cause a whole other set of problems. So it would just initiate even more problems down the line, which is probably why YouTube has such a very complex algorithm to begin with, because they don't want it to be oversaturated with the same content over and over again. This is also why I generally have discussions on my channel as well as game reviews and a bunch of other contexts within it. Like, if you guys actually known me for a good couple of years now, I usually try my best to try to keep up with one specific category, move on to another one, and try my best to keep it as different as possible. That way the algorithm isn't basically breathing down my neck. And well, since the algorithm is breathing down my neck, this is why I generally try to make as many YouTube videos as physically possible, or at least have the video footage in the background so I can edit it later. But now we're coming into the final conclusion of this video that I need to discuss, and that is generally the future of what's going to happen with this channel, and as well as a bunch of other channels that are generally moving from YouTube to other platforms. I don't believe that YouTube is running into a shutdown problem at all. YouTube would be the most random content-based creation type of platform that I've ever seen in existence to shut down randomly, because again, Google has ran into some legal troubles with the US government recently that involves Google Chrome, and I could see why that just concerned a lot of people, because it could be a sign that they might be going after Google as well. I will be making a future video discussing that, but other than that, that's pretty much all I had to break down as the channel thus far. There's still more content and a lot more works on this channel coming up in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. This has been EpicGamingGuru, and I'll see you all next time.